You're watching Fox 45 in Baltimore. Now live from TV Hill, this is BMORE Lifestyle.
Hey everyone, what's up Baltimore? Welcome to an all-new BMORE Lifestyle on Fox 45. I'm Lady T. I'm sitting in for your host, for Brandy right now. We have a great show in store for you today. We've got a lot to cover, and we have a lot of people joining us. Joining me right now, meteorologist Jonathan Myers is back with us, along with our very own Tara Reeves, and making his debut with us today, Traffic Jam Jimmy. So here we go. Let me tell you.
Good morning.
All right, so according to TMZ, the Girl Scouts of Northern Illinois are requiring parents and guardians to sign a special waiver in order for girls to attend in-person events. Apparently, the waiver is designed to protect the Girl Scouts organization from any legal liability if any child or parent gets sick or even dies from COVID-19 while participating in any Girl Scout activities. What do you guys think?
I gotta say, I'm gonna take the lead on this. You know, I've got two kids, and they're actually both involved in Boy Scouts. So I would not be surprised to see this happen here in Baltimore too, with our pack that and the troops around here. Our pack that is actually having some in-person stuff this month. So I mean, we have to sign all kinds of paperwork when we come in person to work. My kids are in some hybrid learning over at school, and they've got to sign stuff every morning. So not surprising to me.
Okay, so Mr. Myers is for it. What do the rest of you guys think?
Yeah, no, I agree
I'll go
too.
next.
Like, okay, you got it.
Go ahead, Tara. Go ahead. Ladies first. Ladies first. Go ahead, Tara.
I don't mean to step
Ladies
on you.
first, okay. No, I just agree with this. I know
Go
I
ahead,
actually went
Tara.
to a restaurant over the weekend and they had like just a disclaimer that said if you're coming into our restaurant, then that means that you're okay with the possibility that you may get COVID. So I think, you know, people from both sides are saying, keep it safe, keep things closed, and other people are saying it's been long enough. So if people are willing to take the risk, then I think that they do need to be willing to sign waivers and just still have the ability to go out and participate in things like Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, or maybe restaurants.
Gotcha. Jimmy, what do you think?
All right, sorry about that, Tara. I feel that I agree with signing the waiver, but if the group stays small and they don't have 700 kids participating and it's under control, I don't have a problem with that.
All right, thanks for your weighing in on that. All right, next up. Not one word has been sung, and already people are talking about The Masked Singer and trying to guess who's going to be competing in the 4th season. The latest mystery cast includes a baby alien, squiggly monster, popcorn, broccoli, and a seahorse. That almost sounded like a meal. And I hear there might be some kind of duet. Like, are they allowing like a duet of some sort? So any guesses from our panel? Who are you expecting to see? Who do you think is going to pop up on us?
I guess I can go first on this one. So I was watching some of the previews, and there's one contestant is the dragon, and one of the clues was about getting fired up. And I love to follow this guy, Dave Portnoy. He was the founder of Barstool Sports. He's hilarious, and he gets fired up all the time, goes on these rants, but they're pretty informative. And then there was another clue about him being creative. Of course, Barstool Sports, their platform is all about creativity and really humor. And then the last one was, you can find me in stocks and bonds. And during COVID, he does pizza reviews, and so since all the restaurants were shut down, he started investing in stocks, and he's day trader. So my hunch says all the clues kind of align with his MO, so I'm thinking that Dave Portnoy may be the dragon.
Okay, any other guesses? I feel like we're gonna experience some things this season. What do you think, Jonathan?
I got to be honest, I don't really watch the show that often, so I got to say I like popcorn and I feed my kids broccoli. There you go. That's my addition.
Okay, all right, we got to move along. So you've heard what we have to say. Now you tell it. Who are you hoping to see this season on The Masked Singer? Beyonce, oh yes, Queen Bee, Cal Ripken Jr., Jada Pinkett Smith, or Ravens kicker Justin Tucker? Go to foxbaltimore.com/vote and tell us what you think. Now, moving along, it's a more serious subject that some men don't want to talk about or even think about. But our Traffic Jam Jimmy wants to spread awareness about prostate cancer. Jimmy, take it away.
Prostate Awareness Month, and actually on October 6th, I will be a 9-year prostate cancer survivor. So it's very close to me. And men, unfortunately, you know, women have a problem. They talk to each other and they discuss their bodies. And men don't say like, hey, Jonathan, how's your prostate? You know, men are too macho and don't bring it up. But I'm out here to say, men, man up and get checked out, because if it's caught early, you can be like me 9 years later and I'm standing here, sitting here talking to you. So, and also, Lady T, black men have a higher risk. So all my black friends, get checked out because you're in danger as well. So it's very important that men get out and get checked out and make sure they're healthy.
Got you. Thank you, Jimmy, for sharing that. Now that Jimmy shared his story, it's time to get everyone else talking. Later, a doctor from GBMC shares the early signs and treatment. And while you may be thinking your pets are missing you while you're back at work, think again. The reason why pets feel more at ease now that you're back to work. Next. There's also a new way to see the elephants at the Maryland Zoo. This is a look at the zoo webcam feature from the inside of the upper savanna of the African Journey habitat. You can watch for yourself at marylandzoo.org/elephantcam.
You're watching BMORE Lifestyle.
All right, more and more people are heading back to the office as COVID-19 restrictions start to ease, but that means leaving your pets home alone for long periods of time again. Dr. Devon Smith is a veterinarian and joins us now. Thanks for coming in, Dr. Smith. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? It's great to be here with Paul.
Oh, hey,
TV
Paul.
debut.
Oh, Paul is super cute. Now tell me, Dr. Smith, now if we leave our pets at home for a while, will it cause some stress?
So I think that's a great question. It's certainly one that's been on lots of my clients' minds, and certainly I think having everyone home under, when we were in the strict pandemic lockdowns was, while great to be home with your pets, a point of stress for many animals because it was out of their normal routine. And so just like that, having everyone home, having the family around might have been stressful. Going back to what was previously normal might also be stress-inducing. And so that's one of the things that I've been talking to my clients about, and that even though you might be working from home now or starting your transition, if you are still spending a lot of time at home, take time in your day where you're away from the pet, where the pet is in their crate or in their room or is alone, even if you're still in the home. So that way, you each have a breather from each other, but the pet is also then not surprised when you do leave to go to work, because throughout the pandemic, you've been giving them that structured time alone that almost mimicked your work hours. So whether it be an hour break or a 4-hour break, it's okay that even if you're in the same area, if you're at home, it's okay to take a couple of hours for yourself so that the pet is also kind of used to that separation, and so that when you're transitioning back into more of a regular work style, the animal isn't as off-put by that.
Okay, well, how can we make our pets feel more comfortable?
Sure. So I think structure, just like with anything in life, I think having structure is a great way to set boundaries and also set expectations. And so with mine, things that I do, if you can't tell, Paul's very needy and he wants to be attached to me at all times. And so when I leave the home, which is a stress inducer for him, I have a special treat that he gets only when I leave the house. And so it's something that, instead of him being stressed that mom's leaving, he knows that he's going to get this special reward. And so that kind of recreates or recalibrates how his brain views or interprets me leaving. So finding things that your pet really loves. Maybe it's a ball. Some animals are motivated by balls. Some animals like Paul are food motivated. Find their motivation and use things that they love and implement them at times that are stressful to help kind of rework how their brain interacts with those time periods.
Wow. So what do you recommend pet owners do when they have to leave for a long period of time?
Sure. So I think one of the great things about technology is now we do have the option of having things like cameras. I think there's one called a Furbo where you can check in with your pet throughout the day. The biggest thing is, again, giving them brain activity. So for him, it's chewing, things to chew on, things to do, so that he's not just in a crate or in a room that's completely sterile and boring. So give them things to entertain themselves is really the biggest one. So chew toys, things that are safe for them to chew on. He is destructive, and so I can't give him a plush toy, but there are hard, different types of toys and chews that are good for animals that are strong chewers like Paul, but it helps keep their brain busy while you're out of the home.
Wow.
And if possible, I have someone come into my house, in the middle of my workday to let them out, let them use the bathroom and get some energy out, which isn't always possible, but I think that's where using things like Furbos to interact with your pet while you're at work, but also leaving them activities and things to occupy their time with while you're gone so you don't come home to a mess and some destructive chewing.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Smith. Great tips, lots of info. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Great to be here.
Up next, I interviewed Judge Jerry about his show. Stay tuned. And still ahead, you tell it. Go to foxbaltimore.com/vote to tell us who you want to see on The Masked Singer this season. Also, a new radio show comes to Baltimore. We'll sit down with the hosts just ahead.
This is BMORE Lifestyle.
A new radio show coming to Baltimore, and we want you to check it out. This morning, we're chatting with Steve Kramer and Jess. Their new show will be on WWMX Mix 106.5. Now, you're not from Baltimore, but what are some things that you recently discovered about the city?
Oh my God.
So many things. You want to start? Well, so we're from California originally. So we just moved everything from West Coast over to East Coast. And
Yes.
Jess is actually a California girl. I'm from the East Coast, but what's something with Baltimore though that you've already kind of fallen in love with?
Crab cakes immediately.
Hey,
I've
the
been
good
having
stuff.
one almost every other day. I know. Okay, I mean, I've honestly never had Dunkin' Donuts until yesterday, and y'all, I'm obsessed. Like, I haven't. Like, I honestly haven't. So I'm pretty much obsessed with that at this point.
Wow.
We've been sprinkling Old Bay on everything. We're not even sure why we're putting it on everything, but every piece of food we get, we're just putting
You
Old Bay
have
on.
to. That's the Maryland way. You put it on your eggs, you put it on everything.
Someone said they put it on their beer too. Like, is that a thing as well?
What? I've never had it on my beer. I don't know. Maybe, but you do put it on your crab cake. You put it on all your French fries, even your Chick-fil-A fries. You can put it on that
Okay.
too.
Yeah.
I'm down. I'm down.
We're learning quick. We're day 18, but we're learning quick.
Yeah.
You're doing great. You're doing great. Well, tell me more about the show. When can people listen in?
So we're on every morning on Mix 106.5. We're on from 6 to 10 a.m. bright and early if you're up and out and about, actually getting to go back to your office or your kids are in some kind of private school that's maybe possibly still in right now. We know most people are sleeping in. But you can also listen on the radio.com app. And our show is really all about Baltimore. It's based about Baltimore. We focus on that. We focus on relationships and the drama that comes with that.
Yeah.
And just kind of introducing ourselves and learning more about the city and learning more about you.
All right. So what makes your show stand out?
I think what's really different about us is both Kramer and myself are very, very open people, almost to a fault.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to make us stand out because everyone is going through so many different things in life, good and bad, and we're just so ready and excited to share that with you and to go through life with you. And so it doesn't really, we're just open to sharing as much as we can.
But I think to a fault is true. Like this morning, for example, Jess was talking about how she just moved in with her boyfriend, and he never puts the toilet seat down. And it's like learning that kind of life lessons together. We're all kind of learning and sharing, and that's what's making it different. And it's local. That's the one thing that.
And that's the best part about it, honestly. Well, Jess and Steve, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and we can't wait to listen in, okay?
Love you, Lady T. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, now over to Jonathan. Let's get that weather in.
Yeah, last hour we showed you the worst weather in America. Now I want to show you some of the best weather in America, and I'm going to take it right here to my kids playing tennis. Yesterday over at Towson High School, we had our first tennis lesson, social distance of the year. But I do want to show you here a little bit of haze as well in some of our skies. We're seeing some of that today, and I'm going to explain why right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at what you can expect today. Bright skies, a lot of sunshine, but again, there will be a little bit of haze from time to time. Should not prevent you from getting outside. And then there could even be a little bit of rain out of Hurricane Sally that's moving on shore way down south toward Alabama and Mississippi. So why are we seeing this haze? We've got winds coming out of Canada, northwest, beautiful. It's great weather to get outside and outdoor lunch. Well, take a look at where those winds all originate from. Not only Canada, but also the Pacific Northwest, where we have those historic wildfires that are burning. that smoke going way up into the atmosphere and then getting dragged all the way across our country and our skies as well. But the good news is that's way up in the middle and high levels of the atmosphere. So although it'll be a little hazy, it won't reduce air quality. Now on the HD radar, outside of that, no rain. Of course, we've got Hurricane Sally that we've been tracking very closely, providing devastating flooding perhaps for portions of the central deep south and all the way toward Mobile. Around here, though, get outside, enjoy the weather. Noontime today for a run or a walk, 65 degrees. If your kids are going to school, picking them up here, maybe walking to that, 67 and 68 at 5 p.m. If you're going to be doing a little hike, maybe you want to enjoy the weather that way. Temperatures in the 60s with sun. And if you want to go out to dinner, we go with some hazy sun, 6 and 7 p.m., 65 to 70. And then temperatures fall into the chilly 50s, maybe even some 40s tonight. Your exclusive 10-day forecast takes us to showers on Thursday. Could even see a little bit of tropical moisture left over with Sally for Friday into early Saturday. And then it looks dry for the remainder of the 7-day.
This segment is sponsored by GBMC Healthcare.
Now, earlier in the show, you heard Traffic Jam Jimmy share his personal story with prostate cancer. Now, we want to get more people talking. Dr. Matthew Boyer with GBMC wants to share the importance of early detection. Hello.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for being with us. Good morning, doctor. So who should undergo screening for prostate cancer, and when should screening begin?
Well, the biggest risk factor for prostate cancer is simply age. It's very uncommon in men under 40. It's also somewhat uncommon in men under 50. So most guidelines recommend starting around the age of 50 years old, possibly a little bit earlier for men in higher risk groups.
How often should men be screened for prostate cancer?
Generally, the recommendation is to screen every 1 to 2 years with a PSA blood test. The American Cancer Society breaks it down a little bit more based on what the PSA value is, and if it's below a certain level, maybe men can just have screening done every 2 years, or if it's above a level, to come back once a year for that PSA test.
Now, are there any factors that could increase someone's chance of developing prostate cancer?
Yes, there are. So African Americans in general are at a higher risk of prostate cancer. They also tend to get prostate cancer at a younger age, and it tends to be a little bit more aggressive when it does appear. So most recommendations would come in for African American men to start their screening at 45. Other big risk factor is just a family history of prostate cancer, and also family history of other cancers like breast cancer or ovarian cancer in women. And those men might be recommended to have screening starting at 45 or even age 40.
Wow. So what can we do to motivate other people to, get screened?
Well, I think the recommendations all come with a guideline to say that this should be done in conjunction with your primary care doctor. So it's important to have a good relationship with a primary care doctor and have what they call shared decision-making with them about when to start prostate cancer screening and what the benefits are of it.
Wonderful. So how can we find out more information about it?
So there's a number of good websites. The American Cancer Society at cancer.org has a lot of great information. Certainly at GBMC, we have a number of websites available too. You can go to the radiation oncology website that I work under. It's gbmc.org/radiation-oncology for more information.
All right. Anything you want to add, doctor?
So the important thing to know is that prostate cancer, I think, is a slow-growing condition, and there's many opportunities for treatment, both surgery and radiation, and in the end, it's also ultimately a very curable disease.
Oh, well, Dr. Boyer, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Well, we want you to tell it. Get online and tell us who you would like to see on The Masked Singer. The results are just ahead. Okay, Baltimore, we're gearing up for a brand new season of The Masked Singer, and the biggest guessing game in town is who's gonna be under those masks? So you heard what we had to say, now you tell it. Who are you hoping to see this season on The Masked Singer? Beyonce, Cal Ripken Jr., Jada Pinkett Smith, Hold the Entanglements, or Ravens kicker Justin Tucker? So far, our viewers say Beyonce? What? But Justin Tucker has some fans among our viewers too, which is nice. But of course, everybody wants to see Queen Bee, That doesn't surprise me. Well, we've got a great show lined up for tomorrow. We'll talk to a mental toughness expert about why the pandemic is taking a greater toll on women than it is on men, and what we ladies can do about it.
Find out how to have your business featured on BMORE Lifestyle. Email us at bmorelifestyletv@foxbaltimore.com.
Well, thank you for inviting us into your home, Baltimore. Stay strong. Remember to live, laugh, and love. We will see you tomorrow. Stay strong.